Now, we've been here at the beach for 90 minutes. Do you understand what he's saying, Kyle? I can't. We're trying to get him in the van, and he's saying something. What? Do you want to stay? Is that what you're saying? He doesn't know the word stay, that's for sure. All right. Kyle, get Ellie in the van, and I'll deal with the monstrosity that I created. Let's go.
You ready? There we go. It did it. I don't believe it.
Let's go Panthers. Let's go Panthers. Let's go Panthers. Let's go. Go.
Puck drop. And 3, 2, 1.
Let's go Panthers. Let's go Panthers. Let's go Panthers. Let's go. Go.
All right, Panther fans, how we doing? So we got the Penguins tonight, second of a back-to-back, and Spencer Knight has not played a more important game since Game 5 against Tampa that some would say he stole for us a couple of years ago. Going to need an absolutely massive outing from him. Colin White is going to draw in because Sam Bennett, he's a game-time decision, but don't look for him to be on the ice. I can't imagine he's going to be able to play tonight, but you never know. Other than that, lineup's going to remain the same. And look, we're 3 points out. We know the whole story. Huge, massive swing right now. If we win this game in regulation, we can continue to talk about being able to catch Pittsburgh. If we do not win, if for some reason we lose this game in regulation, then you got to start eyeballing the Capitals. Okay, you know it hits fast. It hits fast and hard, man. It goes from there's plenty of time left to holy crap, there's only 10 games left, really, really fast. So we need to get Bubba back. We need Bennett back. We need Stahl back in a bad way, especially now with Bennett out. So just keep pace, keep our head above water, stay in the conversation. With this game, the 2 back-to-back, Friday, Saturday over the weekend, just stay in the picture. Get healthy over the All-Star break, and then give them hell afterwards and see where we end up. All right, I haven't done a prediction in a while. I'm not going to go with what I'm not going to go with what I think is going to happen. I'm going to go with what I want to happen, and that'd be 4-3 Panthers. Let's get to. So remember a couple seconds ago on my pregame where I talked about how important this game was for Spencer Knight to get us going? Alex Lyon is starting. It's 3-3 after 1. But apparently Spencer Knight's not even dressed. So, per usual, the Panthers have given us basically no information to go by on what the hell is going on. Maurice at some point, I guess pregame, said he wouldn't know who the goalie would be until after warm-ups. So we don't know if Spencer Knight hurt himself again at one of the games this weekend, or if they just played Yahtzee and Spencer lost the game. No idea. Absolutely no clue. Meanwhile, DeSmith is in goal for the Penguins because Jari is hurt and not dressed. So the emergency goalie, I don't know what's going to happen if both guys get hurt. Anyway, I think we have 3 goals on 17 shots. The Penguins have 3 goals and 15 shots. Neither goalie's been good. It's 3-3 after the first, okay? The last goal given up by Lyon was a deflection. It got past his skate because it was a little bit off the angle and he did not have the entire net covered. So, with that said, we're on a pace for what, 9-9? That sounds like a fun night. It should be a fun night if we can get 2 points. My concern, however, is what the hell's going on with Spencer Knight? Did he hurt himself again? They didn't even tell us what the original injury is in the first place. It is very frustrating trying to cover this team because their lips are sealed tighter than a frickin' fish's butthole. Let's move on to the second period. Well, 4-4 after 2. And it's even. Shots are 29-28 Panthers. it's just as even as it could possibly get, with the exception of even the special teams. Pittsburgh gets power play, and Ekblad gets a shorthanded goal. Then we get a power play. We don't do ass with it. Then Pittsburgh gets another power play, and with 40 seconds left in the period, it had to be Sid Crosby, who's been jawing with Lomberg a little bit. He puts it right, I guess, 5-hole. Lyon didn't get his stick down. I mean, it's one-on-one, so not going to completely throw Lyon under the bus there. But bottom line is it's 4-4, and Buffalo's winning 3-0. And, you know, while we're busy chasing Washington and Pittsburgh and the Islanders, Buffalo is like, and they're sneaking up behind us with games in hand. And who the hell knows? We could end up with a 7-8 seed of Buffalo, Florida. This is going to be a crazy, crazy last 35 or so-ish games, which is why it's so important to get points in these games. And, you know, I mean, it's important to get 2 points in regulation here because we're chasing Pittsburgh, but Buffalo's winning. So at this point, I don't care if we get 2 points and it takes us to go to overtime. You see what I'm saying? It's just crazy. Team looks good. Kachuk's out there throwing his body around. Barkov has a couple of points, but other than that, he's kind of, we're, you know, doing the invisible dance. I just so frustrated by him sometimes because he just. I wish we had guys like Crosby and Stamkos and McKinnon who could just take a game over every once in a while. And Kachuk's an excellent player, but that's not really his shtick. He needs guys around him, and it is what it is. All right, let's. Can we get to Matthias? Can we get to overtime tonight? Let's do it. So, just finished the stream. Now, when Ekblad got the puck on his stick in overtime, I felt like he should have tried to hold on to the puck instead of clearing it. And then I felt like he shouldn't have just let Crosby just stand there 1 foot away from Lyon without trying to get him even a little bit out of the way. We're just letting him stand there. So you guys can let me know in the comments if you think I'm Cocoa Puffs for that opinion or not, because some on the stream think I'm nitpicking. Panthers lose 7-6 in overtime. Spencer and I didn't dress for the game. We have no information whatsoever in terms of what the hell that was all about. And am I blaming all of the goals on Alex Lyon? No, but he gave up 5, and then he gave up 6. We won't count the overtime goal because it was a frickin' power play for Pittsburgh. Because Brandon Montour did high stick the guy. But this is, of course, after the refs called an absolute total ass penalty, a tripping call, with 5-6 minutes left in the third period, and Pittsburgh scored on the power play then to take the lead. We got it back. We get it to overtime, and, we get the point. But we lose ground on Pittsburgh. We lost ground on Pittsburgh last night. We lose ground on Buffalo. And I guess I fell for my own juice, so to speak, because I did say a couple weeks ago that we were going to go between 3 points out, 6 points out, 4 points out, 2 points out, and it was going to be batshit crazy. This is the toughest. This is by far, 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 far and away the toughest season as a Panther fan creator that I've ever had to handle. This team is torturous. We can't stay healthy. Colin White played his ass off tonight, like I said he would. Cousins had a pretty damn good game. Lundell out there doing what he could. Barkov Wasn't bad, but again, he's not as involved as you would like him to be. But it takes a freaking perfect effort. And if we don't get the goaltending, we ain't going to win games. And unless Spencer Knight hurt himself in the game Sunday, because he pitched a shutout in the AHL on Saturday. And then Sunday he allowed 4. Did he hurt himself? Did Maurice overthink it and think, well, because he gave up 4 on Sunday that we shouldn't start him tonight? Lyon makes some really good saves. There's no doubt about that. But you can also see why he hasn't made it in the NHL, because he gives up way too many rebounds. Forget the part where he gives up a weak goal here or there. A lot of goalies will do that. He has 0 rebound control. And I think that to me, that looks to be why he's not made it in the NHL. Oh! So, at one point in the third period, we had a lead. Right? Yeah. Right? Yeah, we did. Yeah, there were so many goals that all runs together. In terms of what I said about Ekblad, man, I love all of my supporters. But if there's anything that anybody who's been with the channel for more than 5 minutes should know, and anybody really, just because you bitch about one thing doesn't mean you're blaming everything on that one thing. I've never understood that in sports, across the board. If I say it was Ekblad, somebody will say, why are you blaming Ekblad for everything? I didn't say I was blaming Ekblad for everything. But in that moment, I was pointing out some mistakes I thought Ekblad made. Correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody can fix it. But should he just let Crosby just stand there 1 foot away from Lyon without touching him? Because I don't know. I seem to recall when I watched like Kachuk or Reinhardt trying to get in front of the net, I see guys battling with them to make it difficult for them to get in front of the goalie. Maybe I'm watching something different. So, this is going to be brutal. What do we got? 35, 36 something games left, and we are going to stay just close enough to get sick on nights like this. But Buffalo has games in hand. Pittsburgh has games in hand. And we got to catch both of those teams, basically. And we don't know what's going on with our goalie situation. They had said Bob might be back for the weekend, but we know how that goes around here, right? How many years in a row have we heard might be back for this point, and it's 2 weeks later, so we don't know. We don't really know what the hell happened with Spencer. One moment he's starting, the next thing you know he's not dressed. So, now here, at the beginning of this trip, this is funny. At the beginning of the trip, I said, as at a minimum, what we needed as a minimum to stay in the conversation was 1-1-1. That's exactly what we did, is 1-1-1. I don't like the way we did it. Don't look pretty at all. I wish the 1 and the 1-1-1 would have come tonight, but it didn't. It didn't. And I have, on one hand, a feeling that every once in a while I get that feeling this team can come back and make it work. And on the other hand, I have the other feeling that we're going to finish like 2 points out, 3 points out, and look at points like this, or the point in Toronto, losing to the Coyotes, and we're going to look at those games and say that was the difference between getting in and not getting in. Very, very frustrating game. Very, very disheartening game for now. I'll be fine in the morning, don't get me wrong. But we lack players with that killer instinct. You see what I'm saying? Kachuk has it to an extent. Bennett has it, he's not here. Bob has it to an extent. He's out. Verhaeghe has that sniper instinct. But guys like Barkov doesn't have the killer instinct. Lundell needs to shoot more. He's passing too much. Not happy about that. Colin White played like a bat out of hell tonight. Boy, he did what he could. He did what he could. He forced Maurice to put that line on the ice, which is good. But the bottom line is we're without our 2 top goaltenders and 2 of our top 4 centers in a playoff race where we're trying to play catch up. And that's a recipe for exactly what you saw on the ice tonight, which was just enough emotion back and forth to make me want to cover tennis and golf. Now that I think about it, if I get a little bit inebriated, intoxicated, and covered golf, that might be some fun. It had to be hockey. It had to be this team. It had to be the Panthers. I had to be born down there to be a Panthers and Dolphins fan, where just abject disappointment after unrealistic expectations combined with impossibilities of unlucky, unfortunate, accidental injuries and a obtuse mannerism in which the referees treat us, and a fan base that is so shell-shocked from years of abuse that we basically all lose our shit at one point or another. And I get to be the spokesman for the hockey version of that, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. We had 72 people in the stream at the end. It was we had a good time. We have a good fun time on the stream. But boy, I'm bloated now. I'm bloated and I don't feel good because we needed 2. And I'm not blaming it all on Ekblad. I'm not blaming it all on Line. I'm not blaming it all on the refs. I'm not blaming it all on Barkov. Not blaming it all on any one thing, but all of the things contribute and combine to where we are, which is if Buffalo wins tonight, I think that puts us another spot back down. And it's tough in the NHL to chase. It's tough. It's why when people say if you're not in the playoffs in Thanksgiving, it's really tough to make it up. And you've seen this last week why. Right? We can play hard and play tough and battle and get a point. But other team gets 2, right? Pittsburgh plays the Islanders and there's 3 points handed out. Or Washington plays the Rangers and there's 3 points handed out. Again, there was 3 points handed out tonight, right? So the Islanders are watching our game going, damn it, Pittsburgh, why couldn't you have won in regulation? It's hard to come back. 4 points is a lot this time of year under these circumstances. Damn. So, it is what it is, and we are what we are, and we're going to do what we're going to do, which is we're going to take 2 days off. Stu and I will be back in the morning. I got to get ready for this podcast that starts Friday for the Patreon members and the YouTube members. It's a 1 hour Monday through Friday podcast. The links are in the description if you'd like to join. Appreciate everybody that came out to the stream tonight. Everybody's super chatting. If I yelled at anybody at the end, I wasn't yelling at you. I was just yelling. So, you know that. We can all agree to disagree. Very, very frustrated that we lost that game. Very frustrated. So, alright, Kyle's finishing up the stream, and I think he's had a long enough night to where he's looking for me to come close it up for him too. So, and thank you, Ghost, for coming on pregame on the stream. We do that from time to time. We'll have a guest on either pregame, and then Stu or somebody else will come on postgame every once in a while. So, we're going to continue to do that. And I am just bummed. I'm really bummed. Man. We had these 2 games. And I know, I'm the one that said we needed to go 1-1-1 at a bare minimum. And boy, did we pull off the bare minimum. We ain't getting any help from the ref. We ain't going to get any help from the injury bug. You can almost start to see, you guys know I like a good conspiracy, but you can almost start to see, I don't think the refs are a Paul Maurice fan. You see what I'm saying? It's really starting to add up. Some of the calls. We had one good night with the refs, which was the night after the Toronto game, which was such an obvious biased referee. But the untimely, unseemly, weak calls at the right exact moment against the Panthers really starting to add up. And then when you see the look on Maurice's face on the bench after those penalties, he looks like somebody that just got caught cheating on his wife. He's got that look like, I left my emails open, didn't I? Shit. I left my email open, didn't I? I left the laptop open and my email open, and now I gotta go home. I can tell by this text that I'm in trouble. That's the look on his face when those penalties are coming. Damn it. Alright, Stu and I will be back in the morning. I will have content out both days that we're off, Wednesday and Thursday. Make sure you check the community posts. I did a poll today about possibly Marlins, some Marlins stuff. But also I'm going to be letting you guys know if you're interested in the podcast, there'll be some different ways and maybe a yearly membership to pay that way. And there's something else I was going to communicate with you all about, but I can't remember what it is at this moment. So, I'll just finish it off with one point.